If I had a hammer in the morning, a hammer in the evening, all over this land. Coming up today on the Geekasaurus, the Guardian. Welcome back to our next installment of Guild Wars 2 Professions. Today we are covering the Guardian. In many ways, you'd expect this to be something similar to a paladin. It is, and it isn't. There is no direct healing done by this character, so paladin healer straight out. There's no taunt or shield throw, so that's out. So what makes it a Guardian and what makes it paladin-like? Well, Guild Wars decided they wanted to redefine the entire profession. So this is something similar to a magic-wielding warrior. I guess they hold some allegiance to some sort of deity, but for the most part, they're just a magic-using warrior. That doesn't make them any less awesome, because they really are. It just means that gone are the sort of protection spells and things like that. Yes, it's there, and there's sort of this aura that you can pick as one of their function keys. This aura switches from being kind of some minor benefits that they give to setting their opponents on fire with every swing, which is pretty good. Actually, it's not every swing, there's a chance to hit them with every swing. I found that their combat was really dynamic and quite a bit of fun. Like any paladin type class, they get to wear the heavier armor, which looks good. And they get a series of really cool weapons. We'll talk a little bit more about the weapons in a minute, but right now, you would expect that with a typical paladin type of class, that you'd be relegated to being just melee and sort of standing there and taking some hits. Which is sort of true, but they actually have a bunch of range spells that I found in my limited beta play. Because of this, I was very comfortable fighting at a distance and had no problem putting the smackdown on my opponents, which was really, I don't know, visceral and fun and just, you know, you could take it out. And it was strange because you're sort of like this holy warrior and you're just seeking out your retribution. I threw a little reference in there. Throwing out your retribution to your foe. Okay, well, this righteous indignation, what can you use to smash your opponent's face? Well, they get a main hand, mace, scepter, and sword. Sword on a paladin. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Well, they're not paladins, they're guardians. Offhand, focus, shield, and torch. Two-handed greatsword, hammer, and... I will have to admit that I did not spend much time using anything other than the two-handed hammer. Mjolnir has nothing on this really crazy. Not only does it do some really cool effects, but it knocks your opponent back about 50 feet. Okay, there is use for all the other weapons, and I did play with them a little bit, but the hammer was just so awesome. And you see me using it almost this entire video. It had really good close-up type of damage abilities, and it also had awesome range, which was just so much fun. Okay, so what were my overall impressions of the class? Well, it provided a lot of utility. It did provide some healing and some other neat features that will help a party survive. To be honest, in beta, I found that they were one of the weaker classes that I played. Maybe because I was just using the hammer too much, I don't know. What I do know is I died quite a bit. It was a little bit difficult at times, and I was like, oh, so frustrating. It is not a indication of the class, it just could be that I really suck. Which is, all likelihood, very possible. So, I do endorse the class. I think it's a fantastic class to play, and I will probably play one eventually somewhere down the line. Not my top choice that I will stick with, but that's just me. It doesn't mean that you, as a player, would love this class. I think you probably would if you're into this sort of style of gameplay. That's why their professions are so diverse and different. They all have sort of a unique feel to them, and if you're into this style of gameplay, go for it. please don't let me stop you. It's just that for me, this was not one of my more favorite classes I played. It was fun. I really did have a good time. It wasn't me. Alright? Well, that about wraps it up. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please check out my Facebook, Twitter, or my website for the latest and greatest Geekasaurus news. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and please stop talking about how I'm a clicker. I'm old. Get over it.